Do slim people earn more? Here now with the weighty reasons why ditching the kilos is good for the wallet. Amanda Morrall, good morning.
Hello.
Is that true? Do slim people earn more?
Well, not necessarily the skinny minis, but a recent study out of the US found that people who regularly exercise make on average 9% more than their sedentary counterparts.
Why?
Well, I think there's a number of factors. I mean, you work out on a regular basis. You would know as well as I do that it sets you up for your day. You know, you build energy, you're more creative, you have a bit more to offer the world, and on a biochemical level that generates a lot of goodness for yourself. And you know that you carry that into your workplace, right? People take notice of that, and so it has sort of this sort of generating effect that grows exponentially. Absolutely.
Interesting. Because finances and weight loss are generally two things we don't necessarily talk about in the same sentence.
No, and I'm a big believer in well-being, and this is increasingly a focus of researchers who are studying happiness and our overall, you know, there used to be the focus even on an economic level on pure GDP, but they want to understand now what makes people happy, what matters to people. Finances are just a small component in what people, you know, makes people happy. The bigger things are fitness levels, your relationships, your attachment to the community. It's a more holistic approach, so fitness and activity levels fit right into that spoke.
And we have to think about it now, but we also have to think about it for our futures.
This is a huge issue that we're looking down the road, because we've got this demographic bulge headed our way, right? All these baby boomers that are retiring. And researchers also know that as you age, healthcare costs increase exponentially. After the age of 65, it's about 4 times. After the age of 85, it's 12 times. So this has lots of implications from a government perspective, but also from your own personal finance level as well.
Okay, so it makes perfect sense to try and get into shape now, because what is our population, as you say, in 20, 30 years' time? It's going to look very different.
That's right. Even in 3 years from now, 60% of the population will be 65 or older.
Wow.
By 2015, for example, if you look at the number of New Zealand's superannuation beneficiaries, they will grow from 500,000 now to over 1.3 million. So there's this big crunch headed down the road. So you factor in the extra healthcare costs associated with that. What it means is that you as an individual are going to have to take greater care of your personal health, because those support systems that exist now possibly will not be there in the future.
Because how different is our access to healthcare now as opposed to generations past?
Well, I don't want to look at generations past, but we know that the public healthcare system now in New Zealand is particularly cushy. It's a Cadillac system, right? We're not like the US where we have to pay a lot of money for private healthcare. But that will be unsustainable in the future given the big numbers coming down the road. So it either means that you're going to have to start paying more for private health share if you want that sort of level of access to healthcare that exists now, or basically you're going to have to, you know, look to the best of your ability, really look after your health, and fitness is part of that.
And that's what you say, take a greater responsibility for yourself. So what sort of preventative healthcare can you start putting in place if you haven't already?
Oh, right. Well, so basic fitness, as you've been learning about over the past weeks, is huge. Getting up and doing regular exercise. I think they suggest 30 minutes as a minimum a day.
It doesn't have to cost anything. You just have to find some time.
Absolutely no. And find something that you do that you enjoy. It can be gardening or walking or running or low impact like yoga. There's you know, a number of different things you can do. The cycling, I know that's huge in New Zealand here. So just find something that really syncs with you and that has a benefit. I mean, you know what makes you feel good. And you know, that all ties into your health or your nutrition as well, because when you're exercising more, you make healthier choices, and it does have a flow-on effect as well.
I know, but people think that you know, like for example, a bottle of fizzy is cheaper than a bottle of milk.
That's right, but there was a study this weekend that actually disproved that. I've heard various views about that, whether it costs now more to eat healthy or not, but what I would argue is that even if you think it's cheaper to buy takeaways and sort of high-fat foods, that will have a compounding effect down the road, because actually, you know, you'll have less energy, you'll get fatter, you just kind of sink under the weight, literally under the weight of it. Yes.
And nothing is cheaper than free water from the tap.
Free water, fresh fruit, grow your own veggies. You know, I really do think that down in the future, it's going to be a back to basics sort of approach. We'll be doing more what our grandparents did, which is kind of more sustainable.
Do you think there's a number of countries that have raised the retirement age to 67?
That's right.
Do you think it's inevitable that it will happen here?
I do think it's inevitable. Some people would argue otherwise, but you take a look what they're doing in the US, in the UK, Britain, Australia. The governments recognize that the pension system is unsustainable given the numbers coming down the track and the changing demographic. There won't be the taxpayer base to support that. So I think it's inevitable. And also, if you're going to be working later on in life, you want to be healthier. You want to be up for the challenge. So that's all the more reason to look after your well-being and your fitness too.
Absolutely. So it's not just thinking about now. It's putting in steps to think about 10, 20, 30, 40 years.
That's right. So again, you know, tie in your finances as part of a bigger plan with your fitness, your overall well-being. You know, you don't have to spend a fortune on it, like on a gym membership. I mean, a lot of those things are wasted too. It's just really finding something that syncs with you.
Do it 3, 4 times a week.
That's right, and it'll spiral and build for you.
Try and eat as healthy as you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
An apple a day.
It's a good start. Anyway, keep the doctor away. Thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome.
Nice to see you.